Let's be serious today. Who can you lean on? Who is there when you need them? Is it just you? What does the mirror say? Does it ask you how you've been? Does it ask you how you are and what's going on? Does it show you who you are? Just listen and breathe. You should slow down. Try to understand yourself. Take time. Realize that you won't have it all figured out. Being in your shoes would change a lot of people's opinions on you. Times have been rough and I know things aren't going your way. You keep trying and trying and trying, but it still feels like you're falling short. It feels like no one really understands you. It feels like you can't get your point across to anybody who even tries to listen to you, who even takes a step into your direction. They never seem to get it. And I understand. We all have that, and there are obstacles we must overcome, and to understand ourselves and what is your true calling and who is the person you're supposed to become, but you can't quite figure it out yet, and it's just because of the spot you're in right now and the situation you're going through. And I know it's rough, and I know it's hard, and I know it seems like the light will never get any brighter, but it takes time. My friend, it takes time. You weren't meant to go through this. No, it's not fun, and it doesn't make you feel better knowing that nobody really understands you, right? Your emotions aren't understood by anybody, and it's hard. It's confusing, and it doesn't make sense for you, but it's a learning point. You need this obstacle in order to figure out who you are. No one has supported you. No one understands you, and it may feel like all of these things have left you alone and nobody is for you but only against you. And it may feel like you have everybody's back, but nobody really understands you. Why aren't they helping me, right? And it does get lonely. I mean, there are times that you feel great, but then in your room it gets dark and lonely again, and only you can go through this, right? Only you could have handled this issue or this problem or this situation or this rough patch in your life. Only you could have handled this in order to grow. You have to overcome this one to understand what you're supposed to know. I know it's hard, and you often may feel alone, but if you continue to be as strong as you have been in all of the things that have been going on here recently, and it may have been a few months that you've been feeling this way, but if you continue to strive forward, change will happen. In Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I love this quote, and we've said it multiple times in this series, but you must continue. No matter what is going on, you must continue, because at the end of it, there is a treasure. At the end of your rainbow, there is a treasure. At the end of your journey, there is a reward. And it's whatever you have asked for. What have you put out there and questioned and say, hey, universe, or hey, God, this is what I want? What have you put out there? And that may be why you're going through this, because you need change. And the only way you need change is by going through something. You were staying in the same direction the whole time. You would go home, you would go to work, you would go to practice, you would go to school, and you would do it all over again. You would repeat it day after day after day after day. And nothing's going to change unless something were to happen and get in the way. So you must understand that you were interrupted for a reason. You must become one with this new person and new version of you. Find out ways to make yourself happy and discover things that you enjoy. Discover things that excite you. Discover the things that really grab your attention and give you a little thrill and get you out of that place of loneliness. Take this time to really get to know yourself and become familiar with bad habits. Understand what's going wrong and understand the bad things that you continue to do. and replace them with better ones. And that comes with understanding who you are. And you must look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? What things have I done that are not changing? What can I change in order to get these things done? You must change your mindset and become a new person and develop a better mindset about all these problems or issues or situations that you're going through. The tunnel is dark, but I'm sure there's going to be a few lights on the way to help you and guide you through. You just have to listen and focus. And if you truly believe in your inner core and your gut intuition, you will get there. And I know it's hard to really listen to that sometimes and to hear what might be right or what is wrong and what you should stay away from. Well, it's not necessarily that you should stay away from the wrong things, but you should replace them with better things. You should replace them with things that will benefit you instead of completely cutting them out, because that will only leave a gap for you to fall back into place. So, if you have a bad habit of falling down, replace it with using a walker, right? Yeah, I mean, that's something simple, and it's not that understandable. If you have a problem with using glass bottles because you hit your teeth and they hurt, you could replace it with plastic bottles, right? This is something simple, and this is not as serious, but if you look at the bigger picture, you would understand what I mean at the moment. It just takes time, and whatever you may be going through, it gets better. It just takes time. You have to believe in yourself. Take the next step forward into becoming this new version of you, and trying to develop that new passion and that new version of you, that one that's going to get you to where you need to be, right? We all want to be somebody different. We all want to try to be something we're not. Well, that only is if we don't know who we are. So once you figure out who you are, you may not play that role anymore. You may become happy in things that make you happy. You may become happy in being you. Just look in the mirror and ask yourself, who do you have? And if it's only you, well, at least only one person can fail you. At least you're not depending on anybody else. And at least you don't have to be worried if anybody's got your back, because you already know that it's just you in that mirror and nobody else is in that mirror but you. You have to be strong and focus on what you need to get done. Stay true to yourself. Stay healthy and be safe. And have a wonderful day, my friend. Focus on you. Bye.